In business, outsourcing involves the contracting out of a business process to another party. The concept, outsourcing, came from American glossary, outside resourcing, and it dates back to at least 1981. Outsourcing sometimes involves transferring employees and assets from one firm to another, but not always. Outsourcing is also the practice of handing over control of public services to for-profit corporations. Outsourcing includes both foreign and domestic contracting, and sometimes includes offshoring. Financial savings from lower international labor rates can provide a major motivation for outsourcing or offshoring. The opposite of outsourcing, insourcing, entails bringing processes handled by third-party firms in-house, and is sometimes accomplished via vertical integration. However, a business can provide a contract service to another business without necessarily insourcing that business process. Overview. Two organizations may enter into a contractual agreement involving an exchange of services and payments. Outsourcing is said to help firms to perform well in their core competencies and mitigate shortage of skill or expertise in the areas where they want to outsource. In the early 21st century, businesses increasingly outsourced to suppliers outside their own country, sometimes referred to as offshoring or offshore outsourcing. Several related terms have emerged to refer to various aspects of the complex relationship between economic organizations or networks, such as nearshoring, crowdsourcing, multi-sourcing and strategic outsourcing. Outsourcing can offer greater budget flexibility and control. Outsourcing lets organizations pay for only the services they need, when they need them. It also reduces the need to hire and train specialized staff, brings in fresh engineering expertise, and reduces capital and operating expenses. Do what you do best and outsource the rest has become an internationally recognized business tagline, first coined and developed in the 1990s by the legendary management consultant Peter Drucker. The slogan was primarily used to advocate outsourcing as a viable business strategy. It has been said that Mr. Drucker began explaining the concept of outsourcing as early as 1989 in his Wall Street Journal article entitled "Sell the Mailroom." From Drucker's perspective, a company should only seek to subcontract in those areas in which it demonstrated no special ability. The business strategy outlined by his slogan recommended that companies should take advantage of a specialist provider's knowledge and economies of scale to improve performance and achieve the service needed. In 2009, by way of recognition, Peter Drucker posthumously received a significant honor when he was inducted into the Outsourcing Hall of Fame for his outstanding work in the field. Reasons for outsourcing: companies primarily outsource to reduce certain costs, such as peripheral or non-core business expenses, high taxes, high energy costs, excessive government regulation, mandates, production and/or labor costs. The incentive to outsource may be greater for U.S. companies due to unusually high corporate taxes and mandated benefits, like Social Security, Medicare, and safety protection. At the same time, it appears U.S. companies do not outsource to reduce executive or managerial costs. In 2011, 26 of the largest U.S. corporations paid more to CEOs than they paid in federal taxes. Digital outsourcing: the digital workforce of countries like India and China are only paid a fraction of what would be minimum wage in the U.S. On average, software engineers are getting paid between 250,000 to 1,500,000 rupees in India as opposed to the $40,000, $100,000 in countries like US and Canada. However, unlike typical sweatshops and manufacturing plants, most of the digital workforce in developing countries have the flexibility to choose their working hours and which companies to work for. with many individuals telecommuting from home. The companies that require this type of work do not need to allocate additional funds for setting up of office space, management salary, and employee benefits, as these individuals are contracted workers.